Hello and welcome to this week's 2-minute Parsha, Parshas Va'eira. In this week we have the first 7 of the 10 plagues inflicted upon Egypt as a consequence of them enslaving the Jews in last week's Parsha, Parshas Shabbos. But first, the Torah begins with Hashem's promises to Moshe that he will save, rescue and redeem Israel from Egypt and take them as his nation to the land of their fathers, Avraham, Yitzchak and Yaakov. Moshe is still worried, so Hashem reassures him. Then the Torah takes us through all the leaders of Israel, the family trees of Moshe, Aaron, and the births of Nadav, Avihu, Elazar, Isamar, and the 4 sons of Aaron, and his grandson Pinchas. Upon Hashem's command, Moshe and Aaron then approached the Pari, initially just showing him the relatively small signs that they were messengers from God. They threw their staff on the floor, it became a snake, and then swallowed the staffs of all Pari's advisors, which they had also turned into snake. Pari denounces them as frauds, so the 10 plagues begin. First, all the water in Egypt is turned into blood, all the fish die, and Pari still says no. So Hashem brings in the frogs, they were here, they were there, they were everywhere. Still, Pari doesn't budge. Next, Hashem throws at Egypt the plague of the lice, nothing doing. So Hashem sends all the wild animals into the cities. Pari's heart is still like rock. An epidemic hits all the livestock of the Egyptians. Pari doesn't let them leave. People and animals alike grow huge, painful boils. Still, Pari does not listen. All the while, between each plague, Moshe and Aaron present Pari with a request to free their nation for just 3 days to worship Hashem in the desert. They warn him of the next plague if he does not conform. He does not, so the plague comes along. He runs to them begging for mercy, and no sooner than the plague is over, he is back to his old stubborn self. The last plague in this week's Parsha is the hail, accompanied by loud thunder. Large rocks of ice and fire fall from the skies, larger than Egypt had ever seen before. It destroys everything that was on the ground, all the crops of that season. Pari runs to Moshe, I believe in your God, just stop this plague. And no sooner had the hail stopped, and Pari was again saying, no, I will not let your people go. In summary, in this week's Parsha, we have Moshe's worries and Hashem's responses. We have the various important family trees in the nation of Israel, the signs to Pari, and the 7 first plagues, the blood, the frogs, the lice, the wild beasts, the epidemic, the boils, and the hailstones. Have a good Shabbos. See you next week.